To be an M theorist or string theorist, there's a kind of visionary aspect to it. You have to be a dreamer. You have to, because there's really nothing hard. Like the quantum physicists have all this hard evidence, but they haven't come up with anything. But basically, so much time is going by that it's sort of like there's no room for dreamers and visionaries. It's like they're kind of slowly getting kind of pushed because it's like, all right, deliver, buddies. And I was wondering, that was kind of something I've never really read about this whole thing before. But it was almost like, well, that was coming. And it was just very sad. I don't know.
Well, I always tell Brian that if his colleagues in physics and philosophy and stuff ever get really sick of him because he can't do an experiment. They don't have any experiment. I said, if it ever happens, the religion department will greet him with open arms, and he can join the shamans. And we need a shaman, and we need someone in shamanism definitely. And we're ready. These are the 21st century shamans. I think they're very far out. Although I don't think they're going to come up with a grand unified theory. I think that's a kind of a quest, a holy grail that is actually in principle a confusion. But what they will come up with is they'll find a liberation of a certain type. I feel they will. They really will. They will be liberated from the determined quest to find a grand unified theory. As if there was a theory that will control the universe. There isn't. The universe is doing better without being bothered by theories.
All right, no, so you're actually agreeing with the sort of, thumbs downers on
No,
because you're admitting that, like, it's a waste of...
I don't think it's a waste. I think it's in order, precisely because...
You have to get to there.
But you see, precisely because of the instrumentalism of our industrial society and wanting some product that somebody can sell, that something can be made out of. They have to be kind of claiming, or they have to be motivated by the idea that they're going to come up with a very powerful theory that's going to enable like new levels of control of the micro and macro verse for these different people who are all basically scared of their doormen and their chauffeurs and their children and their grandparents and everybody, right? And so they think maybe there'll be a theory that will make them safe. And so they have to be motivated by that there's going to be this practical product at the end of it. But what they're really doing is they're using this amazing mathematical imagination, which is an exquisite thing, really. The Indians are the great mathematicians. The Vishnu, the brain of Vishnu is all mathematics. And they have these wonderful ways of looking at it, and they're exploring the universe. And of course, when you really, what you finally find at the end of your exploration is the zero, shunyata. The word shunyata, shunya means zero. That is where, that was the word for, and the Indians invented that zero, and they invented the decimal system. And so, the whole thing fits all together, in a way. And shunyata, the realization of shunyata, whether with the verbal mind or mathematical mind or visceral, sort of direct experience, prajna, transcendent wisdom type of thing, is an experience of freedom from suffering. It's liberation. So that's what they are going to come up with. Although what they think they're going to come up with is like a big gun. No, they all want a big gun, or a big bomb or a process that can give them power over something else because they're scared. Well, we're scared. I shouldn't say they. Don't you think? So I don't see that as depressing, and I don't see them as shallow. I see them as very sincere, brilliant people. I love Brian Greene. He's fantastic. He's totally fantastic. He will say that this is an illusion, and the deeper reality we can't quite know what it is, but that's the reality we're in. So in a way, if we knew where we were, if we participated in the knowledge that our cells have, that our molecules have, that the subatomic energies have, then we would know. And in a way we do know, but our verbal mind, our identifiable mind, our habitual identity mind is walled off from that knowing. And he totally can do that he does that in a total scientific thing. And then people get freaked out. I've been in lectures, small dialogue, where somebody says, well, you mean time could be going backwards? Or like, we don't know what's going to happen. And he says, yes, sort of. And then he notices they feel really nervous. So then he says, well, certain forces were put into play in the first milliseconds of the Big Bang, perhaps, that mean that sort of there is an arrow of time, so relax. And then they get all happy. And they think, Big Bang, okay, God's in charge. But then I get him later in the quiet moment in the cab, and I say, now, come on, Brian. Where? You're going to say this is an illusion here in the room, but the Big Bang is not an illusion, maybe? Well, of course, he says, But that's what people makes them feel like there's some directionality in the universe that corresponds with their sense of beagle-like sense, of bloodhound-like sense of directionality, that they're rushing forward to get somewhere. And they don't really want to acknowledge that where we're rushing forward to is we're carrying this carcass of ours toward the grave. Because that's where we're going to land. That's where it's going to land. And then we won't even land there. Our mind will go back to Menla and go back to retreat. We'll get a discount because we won't be bringing our bodies, so it won't need to be fed, it won't need to be housed, clothed, if we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. So if you go on retreat without your body, you get a super discount.